Good morning, friends. Hope you're doing well on this Monday morning. Better yet, hope you don't have to work. I took the week off. Got too many things to do around here. We're having Thanksgiving here in my house this year, so I got a bunch of stuff to do around here. Uh, Hopefully, I get most of it done because we're supposed to have some storms here this afternoon. But anyway, hope you are off this week. If not, hey, keep your head down. Busy 3-day week. Go by fast. Week 13 review had some pretty good games this past Saturday. We'll go over that. Got a lot of news items to go over. FCS, they released their playoff bracket. They announced that yesterday. We'll go over that. Before we start, hit that little subscribe button down there so you don't miss it. With it, let's get started. Florida State head coach Mike Norvell, he will return next season. And then they lose to NC State Friday night. So that happened twice too. We'll go over the other one too. But yeah, he's coming back, but he did lose the game Friday night at NC State. Baylor head coach Dave Aranda, they announced he will return next season, and they got blown out by Arizona on Saturday. So you kind of wonder if some of these administrations are rethinking their decisions. But anyway, California Golden Bears, they fired head coach Justin Wilcox yesterday. He went 48-55 in 9 seasons. Last two, like last year, remember, they were just a few points away from having a good season and going to a bowl game and everything. Started out that way this year too. I think they started off 5-2 if I remember right, but they tanked since then. So Cal has now put them on the list looking for a new coach. Hey, Division II, Eastern New Mexico. They hired a new coach. Guess who they hired? Remember Art Briles? Badass coach of Baylor, and then all that scandal went down. They got rid of him. He's been going around the last few years looking for a coaching job. Well, Division II, Eastern New Mexico, they have hired him. So we'll see how he does there. Northwestern women's field hockey. Congratulations. They are national champions back-to-back. They also won it last year, too, so that's good for them. What the hell's going on at UAB? Got rid of Trent Dilfer. And then on Saturday, an O lineman, Daniel, how you say his name, Mincy, stabbed 2 teammates in the one of the football facility buildings before the game on Saturday. I don't know what happened. UAB's not saying, was it an argument? What happened? He was arrested and charged with aggravated assault and attempted murder. The 2 wounded players are in stable condition at the hospital as of yesterday. Like I said, no word on what went down or why it went down. But yeah, right before the game, old lineman decides he's going to stab 2 teammates. You got to wonder what some of these people are thinking sometimes. Jeez. NCAA says now athletes and athletic department staff will not be allowed to bet on professional sports. I guess that's God. I mean, it's just, I don't know. They're wishy-washy. They first said they could. Now they're saying they couldn't. I mean, NCAA, you just wonder what the hell they're doing sometimes. Texas A&M gives athletic director Trev Alberts 6-year extension. I'm half and half on Trev. Let a good baseball coach get away. Basketball seems to kick ass, and they start underachieving. So I don't know. Well, I mean, he got Mike Elko in here, so maybe that started something good, but we'll see what happens there. Former Temple basketball player Heiser Miller was found to have betted on Temple Owls games while he played there in 23 and 24. Played versus the games were Ole Miss in 2023, Memphis in 2024. He bet on those games. They lost both those games. So I think a lot more crap's going to come out about this as we go on. Basketball Sunday. No top 25 upsets yesterday. But hey, if you are off today, or even if you're at work and you just don't feel like working, there are 62 basketball games today, and there's some damn good ones. All right, ready? 12 p.m. TNT. Number 20 Tennessee versus 4-1 Rutgers. 1:30 on ESPN2. Number 25 NC State versus 5-0 Seton Hall. 2:30 on TNT. Number 24 Kansas versus 4-1 Notre Dame. 5 p.m. TNT. Number 2 Houston versus 4-0 Syracuse. 7 p.m. on True Network. Number 22 Auburn versus number 4-0 Oregon. And then 10:30 tonight, if you feel like staying up, ESPN2 4-1 Texas versus 4-1 Arizona State. So if you got nothing to do around the house today and you're off, you got some damn good basketball on. Like I said at work, put that bitch on the computer or your phone because you know you don't want to work this week anyway. Football, tomorrow night you got a couple games, really only one. I don't even know. If you're a Western Michigan fan or alumni, your team's going for 8 wins. They do play 4-7 Eastern Michigan. And the other game was, I forget who it was, but it was but they have a losing record and they're playing UMass, who's 0-11 now. So anyway. All right, so week 13, like I said, we had some good games, had some cool stuff happen. We just mentioned Florida State said Norvell's coming back. Well, NC State beat them. They are bowl eligible now at 6-5. Florida State falls to 5-6. Wolfpack beat them 21-11. NC State's Bailey, 152 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. Florida State actually had more passing, rushing, and total yards, but they also had 4 turnovers, so that did not help them. FSU trying to get that last win to get bowl eligible. UNLV, they are 9-2, beat Hawaii 38-10. Hawaii 7-4 now. Colandrea for UNLV, 253 passing yards, 81% completion rate. 3 touchdowns. Lyons, Bradley, Reynolds all had touchdown catches. Hawaii, 12 first downs, 3 for 10 on third down, 103 yards and penalties. That did not help their cause. Still having a great season though. They could finish 8-4. So like we said before, Timmy Chang's really got that thing turned around. Saturday, Army, who was trying to get bowl eligible, fall to 3-7 Tulsa. I think they played there at West Point too. Anyway, Tulsa beat them by 1. Tulsa's Richardson, 203 rushing yards and a touchdown. Like we said, Army 5-5, trying to get to a bowl game. 2 more chances, and one of them's Navy, and I don't think that's going to work out. So they better win the next game. SMU's 8-3, beat Louisville 38-6. Louisville 7-4 now after starting off so strong. Jennings for the Mustangs, 303 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, and a rushing touchdown. Hudson, 96 receiving yards and a touchdown. SMU held Louisville to 12 first downs, 3 for 12 on third down, 228 total yards. Like we said, Louisville started off strong. They've fallen. They've gone 3-3 in the last 6 games. They were 7-1 on November 1st, going into that game on November 1st. That's just crazy, isn't it? Northwestern, man, they're bowl eligible, 6-5. They beat Minnesota, who's also 6-5, 38-35. Stone, probably one of his best games as a Wildcat. 25 for 30, 305 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. Kamalefe, I think that's his name, Kamalefe, 129 rushing yards and a touchdown. Also got a touchdown pass, too. Not a bad game for Lindsey, though, for Minnesota. 20 for 30, 264, 4 touchdowns, 3 of them to Tracy, who had 87 receiving yards. Kicker for Northwestern, Olsen, 12 points, including the game-winning field goal with 45 seconds left. Minnesota took it downfield, missed the 40-yard field goal as time expired trying to get it back. But anyway, Northwestern, good for them. They kind of had a bad season last year. Iowa State, they are 7-4. They beat Kansas 38-14. Kansas 5-6. Got one more chance to get bowl eligible. Rocco Beck, 18 for 23, 241 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 of them to Iskildsen. Is that how you say his name? Iskildsen. Also ran for 64 and a touchdown. Hernandez, 197 receiving yards, 5 catches, 2 touchdowns. Or Hanson, what am I saying? Hanson, 120 rushing yards and a touchdown. I don't know what the hell that came from. Daniels for Kansas, 154 passing yards, 0 touchdowns and an interception. Cyclones, 9 for 16 on third down, 4 for 5 on fourth down, 25 first downs, 462 total yards. Wake Forest, they are 8-3. They beat Delaware, who's 5-6 now, 52-14. Ashford for the Demon Deacons, 292 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, ran for 64 and a touchdown. Hernandez, 197 receiving yards, 5 catches, 2 touchdowns for him. 79-yard, and a 93-yard touchdown catch for Hernandez. Wake Forest, 6 for 12 on third down, 2 for 2 on fourth down, 577 total yards. Number 3, Texas A&M, no problem with Samford, 48-40. Samford, A&M defense really did a number on Samford. 3 first downs, 0 for 14 on third down, 72 total yards. This one was kind of a defensive game. I watched this one. Number 8, Oklahoma beat number 22, Missouri, 17-6. Oklahoma's Mateer, 173 yards, 2 touchdowns, ran for 60 yards. Satigna, 3 catches, 109 yards and a touchdown. Pribula came back from Missouri, 231 passing yards, 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Mayer and Robbins kicked the field goals for Missouri. Like I said, both defenses played pretty damn good in this game. OU defense held Missouri, though, to 3 for 15 on third down, 301 total yards, only 70 rushing yards for Missouri. That's crazy. Forced 2 turnovers and had 4 sacks. Missouri defense held OU to 14 first downs, 276 total yards. So, like I said, a pretty good defensive game. Number 13, Miami beat Virginia Tech, 34-17. Beck, 27 for 32, 320 yards, 4 touchdowns to 4 different receivers, including Tony, who had 146 receiving yards on the day. Miami, only 100 rushing yards and no rushing touchdowns. That's kind of crazy. Both of them had over 70 yards in penalties. Number 1, Ohio State, no problem at Rutgers, 42-9. Rutgers is 5-6 now. Started off the season kind of good, but it started tanking. Sayin, 2 passing touchdowns. Jackson, 2 rushing touchdowns. Number 4, Georgia. They didn't have any issues with Charlotte, 135-3. Stockton, 196 passing yards, no touchdowns and interception. Frazier, 54 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. Walker, 48 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns. Only 2 penalties for 15 yards for Georgia. Old Dominion, man, they kicking butt. Then they had a little downslide. Now they're kicking butt again. 8-3 now. They still got one more game. They could be 9-3 at the end of next weekend. Beat Georgia Southern 45-10. Georgia Southern needs one more win to become bowl eligible. Joseph for Old Dominion, 140 passing yards and a touchdown. He also ran for 189 and a touchdown. Hargrove, 3 rushing touchdowns. Old Dominion, 551 total yards. Talked about Baylor said they were keeping Dave Aranda. He said thanks by getting their ass whipped by Arizona 41-17. Fifth touchdown pass. Brascano, 3 rushing touchdowns. Mann had a 34-yard pick 6. Baylor was actually winning by 3, 17-4 at halftime. Arizona outscored them 27-0 in the second half. Number 21, James Madison. They kind of had a tough one, but they beat Washington State 24-20. Washington State needs one more win to be bowl eligible. James Madison's Barnett touchdown pass, Knight 126 rushing yards and a touchdown. They were actually close in offensive categories post-game when this one was over. Eaglin, 37-yard pick 6 for Old Dominion. Kennesaw State, they were 8-3, beat 7-4 Missouri State 41-34. Kennesaw State's Odom, 24 for 34, 387 passing yards, 5 touchdowns, and he also ran for a touchdown. Binyard, 127 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns. Kopic, 87 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns. 98 yards in penalties, though. So they need to get that cleaned up. Missouri State's Clark, not a bad game. 344 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, but he did throw 2 interceptions. 2 touchdowns with the Gardner. Lawrence, 173 rushing yards and a touchdown. Auburn, man, they are 5. I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't think Auburn was going to win this game, but hey, they won, beat Mercer, gave Mercer their second loss of the season. Auburn is 5-6. They got to beat Alabama to become bowl eligible. Knight, his first start for the Tigers at quarterback, 15 for 20, 239 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, ran for 162 and 4 touchdowns. Why was this guy not starting the whole season? Simmons, 5 catches for 190. I mean, I know it's Mercer, but still. Simmons, 5 catches for 191 and a touchdown. Melendez, 41-yard pick 6 for Auburn. Toledo are 7-4. They beat Ball State 38-9. Toledo's Gleason, 218 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. 2 of those touchdowns were to Vanderos, who had 127 receiving yards. Trained them 128 rushing yards and a touchdown. They were only 3 for 10 on third down and had 85 yards and penalties, still won. Number 10, Alabama, kind of tossed around Eastern Illinois, 56-0. Deere and Riley each had 2 rushing touchdowns. They had 32 first downs in this game. App State beat Marshall 26-24. Both of them are 5-6, need one more. 9-3 UConn had a little trouble with FAU, but won 48-45. Fagano for UConn, 446 passing yards, 3 touchdowns. Edwards, 101 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. They had 105 yards of penalties. That's probably why they had a little trouble with FAU. Plus FAU, they did have some better numbers in the offensive categories afterwards, but so they did play tough. UConn still came out on top. South Florida, they are 8-3, beat UAB 48-18. After that crap happened to UAB, there were some players that just didn't want to play, so UAB was okay with that. I think about, besides the 2 guys that got hurt, I think it's like 7 other players said, man, we just don't feel like playing. So they said okay to that. So, you know, it is what it is. Brown for South Florida, 19 for 25, 353 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, ran for 63 and a touchdown. Davenport, 121 rushing yards and a touchdown. Rubin, 174 in receiving yards, 2 touchdowns. Both teams had over 93 yards and penalties. Louisiana Tech, they are bowl eligible. They are 6-5. They beat Liberty 34-28 in overtime. Liberty led 28-14, hitting into the fourth quarter. Louisiana Tech's Kukak, 118 passing yards, no touchdowns, but he ran for 143 and 2 touchdowns. Burnett, 93 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns for Louisiana Tech. Liberty, incredible performance, though, by Dickens. 228 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns for him. So there was some good news for Liberty. UTSA is now bowl eligible, 6-5. They beat 7-4 Eastern Carolina, 58-24. UTSA has kind of turned things around. I mean, they're not going to have a spectacular season, but for a while there, a few weeks, they were dead in the water. McCowan for UTSA, 248 passing yards, 5 touchdowns to 5 different receivers. ECU, 15 first downs, 2 for 14 on third down, 3 turnovers, 120 yards of penalties for the Pirates. South Alabama, 4-7 now. I'm not going to make a bowl game, but hey, they beat 7-4 Southern Miss, 42-35. Bullock, 187 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns for South Alabama. FIU, they are bowl eligible now, 6-5. They beat 7-4 Jacksonville State, 27-21. Florida International's Owens, 135 rushing yards and a touchdown. Iowa, they are 7-4. Beat Michigan State 20-17. Poor Michigan State used to be a powerhouse. They're 3-8, but they led 17-7 hitting into the fourth. So they had this game won. I don't know what happened. Iowa scored 13 points, including the game-winning walk-off field goal to beat Michigan State. So Michigan State just having bad luck. Duke, they are bowl eligible, 6-5 now. They beat North Carolina 32-65. Duke's Castle, 3 rushing touchdowns. And see the article on ESPN? Bill Belichick probably needs to quit bringing family to football. I mean, he really does. Was his daughter-in-law gotten into it with his girlfriend or something, screaming at each other? He just needs to leave the family at home. That's probably why. It's probably all the distraction why they're not doing too good, because all the family crap that comes to football with him. So, Bill, leave the damn family at home and concentrate on coaching. Duke, 6-5, bowl eligible. After that Illinois game, man, they just looks like their whole morale was just gone. But they've started making a comeback. I mean, 6-5, they could be 7-5 after next week. So they've kind of turned things around. Number 17, Texas beat 2-9 Arkansas 52-37. This was a good game until the third quarter. Manning, outstanding day. Of course, the media is all over about 389 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, ran for a touchdown. Moore Jr., 3 touchdown catches. Green for Arkansas, 118 passing yards before he got injured in the third quarter. Jackson came in, threw for 206 and a touchdown, so not too bad. Washington, 105 rushing yards and a touchdown. Good, like I said, good game until the third quarter. UT just started running away with it. Manning had like I said, outstanding day, but it was against Arkansas. So, yeah, I give him kudos. He had a great day. I don't put him king as college football like some of the guys on TV are after that game, but hey. Number 14 Vanderbilt beat up on poor old Kentucky 45-17. Kentucky's got one more chance to get bowl eligible. Freaking Pavia, man. 33 for 39, 484 yards, 5 touchdowns. He threw a pick, which he was pissed off about at the end of the game, if you saw that interview. Ran for 48 and a touchdown. Richardson caught 3 of those touchdown passes for 159 receiving yards. Sherrill, he had 115 receiving yards and a touchdown. 604 total yards for Vanderbilt. 3 for 9 on third down. Neither team, though, rushed for over 65 yards. Kentucky's Bole, 280 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Calzada proved he's not worth the NIL money he's bragging about. 3 for 5, 4 yards and an INT. So I don't think he was on social media after the game Saturday going, look, count. Yeah, that guy. I was really hoping he was going to do good because he did good things in Incarnate Word. I said, that's what Kentucky needs. And he's just been a complete flop and a waste of money for whoever's paying him that money. So, number 9, Notre Dame beat Syracuse. Poor old Syracuse, 70-7. Remember when their coach made them run wind sprints back in September? Because they won in overtime against, who they went against? UConn, I think. But they won in overtime, so after the game, the coach made them run wind sprints. What has he been doing now since they've been getting their butt kicked almost every week? Especially after this beatdown by Notre Dame. Is he making them run wind sprints, running up and down bleachers? I mean, what's he doing now? Anyway, Notre Dame, get this, they went up 21-0 before they even took an offensive snap. Stroman had a 44-yard pick six. Then Talek had a 22-yard punt return for a touchdown. Then Moore had a 46-yard pick six. Then the offense went to work. Carr threw a touchdown pass. Love, again, this guy's incredible. He should really be in New York. I don't know. I haven't heard if they're talking about him for New York in December, but 171 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns in this game. Notre Dame defense held Syracuse to 207 in total yards, forced 3 turnovers, had 5 sacks. Syracuse finally scored when Philandry ran it in for a touchdown with 4 seconds left in the game. So, number 7, Oregon, man, they took care of business. They beat number 15, USC, 42-27. Looks like it's getting darker because these storms are fixing to roll in. Moore for Oregon, 257 passing yards, 2 touchdowns to Sadiku. Whittington, 104 rushing yards and a touchdown. Mavia for USC, 306 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, but he also threw 2 picks. 2 touchdown passes to Lamont. Hines had 141 receiving yards and a touchdown. Think about all the great running backs USC has had over the years, even in recent. Only 52 rushing yards in that game against Oregon. It's a penalty fest. USC 8 for 103, Oregon 11 for 130. They're trying to do each other, see who could get the most penalties. Number 24, Tulane. They are 9-2. Beat Temple 37-13. Temple's got one more chance to get bowl eligible. Retzlaff, 231 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, ran for a touchdown. Temple, only 14 first downs, 204 total yards. This group of 5 playoff thing, getting pretty interesting to see who's going to be in it. James Madison, Tulane, North Texas all battling it out. It's going to be interesting to see who gets in. Troy are 7-4, beat Georgia State 31-19. Troy's Crowder, 361 passing yards, 4 touchdowns. Epps had 103 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns. Connor, 85 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns. Georgia State was actually better in their offensive categories, passing, rushing, total, penalties. They were not as good in third and fourth down percentages. So, but they still lost by a lot. So I think that wasn't their only problem. Central Florida, they need one more win to become bowl eligible. They beat Oklahoma State 17-14. Hit with winning field goal with 56 seconds left. Cowboys were up 14-0 at halftime. It just seems like, God, years ago that Mike Gundy got fired from Oklahoma State. It just happened, what, a couple months ago? For some reason, it just seems like it was like decades ago he got fired. But I guess because maybe he was one of the first in the season. 7-4 TCU. Boy, come to Houston, beat number 23 Houston 17-14. Hoover, 293 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Connor Wigman for U of H, 161 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, threw an interception, ran for 114. Thomas and Connors had receiving touchdowns. Fourth quarter, under 2 minutes left, TCU's winning 17-14. They had the ball at the 6, 4th and 1. You figured, hey, they're going to kick a field goal so they can make Houston score a touchdown to get back to win. They decided to go for it instead of the field goal. Houston stuffs them. Houston and Wigman marched downfield. He's like, here it goes. Houston's going to win this game. Wigman was making big runs. Great looking drive. Get down. They could only get to the field goal. Miss the game-tying field goal. And that was they missed 2 field goals in the fourth quarter. So TCU ends up winning that game. Hell of an ending, though. Number 18, Michigan. They are 9-2. They beat Maryland 45-20. Maryland falls to 4-7. Bowl game out of the question for them. Well, I'm not going to say out of the question. We have seen 5 and 7 teams go to a bowl game, but I don't think it's going to happen with the Big Ten and with the Maryland. But you never know. Underwood, 215 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. Cusdale, 100 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns. Nice game for him. 12 for 14 on third down, 443 total yards. Maryland's last win was on September 20th. That is just crazy. Number 12, Utah pulls one out of their ass at the last minute. Beats Kansas State 51-47. Kansas State has one more chance to become bowl eligible. Utah scored 14 points in the last 2 minutes and 47 seconds to win this game. Dampier, 259 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, ran for 94 in a touchdown. They had 32 first downs, 7 for 15 on third down, 551 total yards. Jackson for Kansas State, 293 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns. Coastal Carolina, they are 6-5, bowl eligible, but they did lose to South Carolina. 51-7. South Carolina's 4-7. Sellers, 16 for 20, 274 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 to his brother, who had 127 receiving yards. Also ran for 2 touchdowns. Coastal Carolina, only 13 first downs in that game. Clemson, they are bowl eligible. We never thought we'd say that, huh? Beat Furman 45-10. Denson, 106 rushing yards and a touchdown. Texas State's 5-6. They need one more win. They beat Louisiana Monroe 31-14. Texas State's Jackson, 2 passing touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns. Boise State, they are 7-4. Beat Colorado State 49-21. Gains for Boise State, 149 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns. Sherrod also had 2 rushing touchdowns. New Mexico, man, they have turned things around. They started getting better last year. They just lost a few games by a few points. They just couldn't finish. Well, now they are 8-3 after beating Air Force 20-3. They had 2 rushing touchdowns in that game. Penn State, they are 5-6. They are on the verge of going to a bowl game after all the crap that's happened to them this year. They beat Nebraska 37-10. Nebraska falls to 7-4. Allen for Penn State, 160 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns. Singleton, also 2 rushing touchdowns. They got Rutgers next week, so they could be bowl eligible by Saturday night. Or by Friday night. I don't know what day their game is. But, I mean, that's incredible. High hopes. Everybody's telling you you're going to win the national championship. You're going to play for it. Start off great. That Oregon loss started a downhill thing. They fired James Franklin. Started winning a few games again. one more, and they could make something of this season. I could not believe this happened. I didn't expect this to happen, but Pittsburgh is 8-3 now, beat number 16 Georgia Tech 42-38. Heinzel, did I say his name? Heinzel. This is the game everybody was hoping he was going to have against Notre Dame last week. 20 for 27, 226 yards, 2 touchdowns, and ran for a touchdown. Terrence, 201 rushing yards and a touchdown. Haynes King for Georgia Tech, 257 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, ran for 76 yards and a touchdown. Kenyon, 2 receiving touchdowns. Pitt jumped out to 21-0 in the first quarter of this game. Defense stepped up, held Georgia Tech to 3 for 14 on third down, 378 total yards, forced 2 turnovers, including Lovelace's 100-yard pick 6. Pretty badass. Stanford gets a win, gets the axe, gets Cal's coach fired 31-10. Both Green and Davis had scooping scores for Stanford. Ford, 150 rushing yards and a touchdown. Number 22, North Texas, comes down the road to Rice. Rice played them good at first, but UNT ends up winning 56-24. Mestamaker, 469 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a rushing touchdown. Hawkins, 97 rushing yards and a touchdown. Young had 8 catches for 295 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns. North Texas left there with 640 total yards. I didn't see this one coming either, but it happened. 4-7 Wisconsin beats number 21 Illinois 27-10. Wisconsin 4-7 now. No chance for a bowl game, but hey, you started winning at the end of the season. Dupree, 131 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns. Both defense had 5 sacks in this game. Illinois, another team that's kind of fallen off. Remember, they started winning, getting up in the rankings, and they've kind of fallen off. They are 2 for 2 in the last month. Number 20, Tennessee wins for the first time in Gainesville since 2003, beat Florida 31-11. Aguilar, 204 passing yards, a touchdown pass to Davis. Bishop ran for 116 and 2 touchdowns. DJ Lagaway for Florida, 116 passing yards, touchdown pass to Bo. Tennessee defense held Florida to 15 first downs, 2 for 9 on third down, 261 total yards. And Florida State trying to get, don't they still got Florida State, right? Or they already play. I have to look at the schedule. But Florida State trying to get bowl eligible. I think they're playing Florida. I don't think they played yet. I think that's always the last game, but I could be wrong. Maybe I'll watch so much football and stuff this year. LSU, boy, 7-4. Won an ugly game against Western Carolina, 13-10. Van Buren played 202 passing yards and a touchdown, threw an interception. Green had a TD catch. LSU was up 13-3 in the fourth quarter. Barry fumbles. Dylan Flowers had a 71-yard scoop and score for Western Carolina. They go for the onside kick. Luckily for LSU, Tigers received it. But yeah, that was just probably one of the worst LSU offensive games I've seen. And we've seen quite a few the last couple of years. But I knew it would be tough because Western Kentucky's a good team. They came in this game 9-2. So you knew it was going to be tough, but yeah. Number 25, Arizona State beat Colorado 42-17. Didn't see anything of Deion forbid his players from talking to the media afterwards. Sims for the Sun Devils, 206 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. Brown, 225 rushing yards and a touchdown. Arizona State was 3 for 13 on third down. Committed 4 turnovers. Still won. How bad is Colorado for that to happen and them still win 42-17? I mean, is it all? I'm going to be honest, I haven't seen any Colorado games. Is it the offense? Is it the defense? Is it all of it? I don't know. Number 11, BYU beats the 7-4 Cincinnati 26-14. Bachmeier, no passing touchdown, but he ran for a touchdown. Martin, 222 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns. Sorsby for Cincinnati, 300 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. Only 87 rushing yards for the Bearcats. San Diego State, they are 9-2. Beat San Jose State 25-3. Both under 269 total yards. Utah State is bowl eligible. They beat 7-4 Fresno State 28-17. Utah State scored 3 touchdowns in the second half of this game to win it. Washington State. Oh, I'm sorry, Washington. Washington is 8-3, beat UCLA 48-14. Williams, 213 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, also ran for 2 touchdowns. McLaughlin, 59 yards, scoop and score. This is the Washington we used to see. I don't know, ever since that Ohio State lost, kind of up and down. And I think Lamaleva, I don't think he played for UCLA. I didn't see the game, but I think I saw he didn't play. All right, last but not least, the FCS playoff bracket. 24 teams, and it seems to work out fine every year. Your seeds with the first round bye. Number 1, North Dakota State. Number 2, Montana State. Number 3, Montana. Number 4, Tarleton State. Number 5, Lehigh. Number 6, Mercer. Number 7, Stephen F. Austin. Number 8, UC Davis. Those are the 8 seeds. They get the first round bye. Games will start the 29th, so on Saturday. You're going to have Illinois State versus number 16, Southeast Louisiana. Central Connecticut State versus number 9, Rhode Island. Yale versus number 15, Youngstown State. Lamar versus number 10, Abilene Christian. Got an interstate battle there. Harvard versus number 12, Villanova. Yale and Harvard played each other for the Ivy League Championship on Saturday. Harvard came in favored. Yale just cooked them. But they both made the FCS playoffs, so that's cool. North Dakota versus number 13, Tennessee Tech. Drake versus number 11, South Dakota. New Hampshire versus number 14, South Dakota State, which I got to admit, after South Dakota State lost to North Dakota State, they went on a losing streak. I didn't think they're going to make these playoffs, but they did. They made it in there. The semifinals are on December 20th, and the championship game, FCS championship game, is on January 5th, and I believe it's not in Frisco, Texas. I believe it's in Nashville this year. If I read right. I might be wrong about that. Thursday, I forget who's playing Thursday night. Pretty good game. I want to say it's Navy and somebody, but both of them, I forget, but both of them have 7-8 wins. So Thursday night's college football game, going to be a pretty good game. So, like I said, I got family coming here for Thanksgiving. I got a lot of crap to do, but I am going to try to get a preview show together to do on Wednesday sometime. I'm going to try to. If I can't get it done, that's the way it is. Like I said, I got a million things to do around here. Meanwhile, if I don't do one, y'all have a great Thanksgiving. If you're traveling, be safe. A lot of idiots out there on the road. I'm sure you see it all day long. But have a great Thanksgiving. Have a great time with friends, family, wherever you're spending it. Be careful. Unfortunately, if you have to work, keep your head down. These 3 days will go by fast. Anyway, may see you Wednesday, may not. If not, we'll see you back on Sunday or Monday to review everything that's happened. We will see you next time.